Premier League is taking shape and eating up. Round 22 is just around the corner. We are far past the stage where Victor cannot say he does not care about the table because things are already shaping up. We're already starting to know the title contenders and the pretenders, of course. But anyways, without wasting more time, let's focus on the weekend. And first off, Victor, Chelsea are without a win in their last 5 league games and also lost in midweek, to Arsenal in the AFL Cup semi-final, the first leg. But now they take on the Brentford side in decent form at the moment. Brentford have not lost in their last 5 games. Do you think the bookmakers are wrong to tag Chelsea as strong favourites, 1.72 as against 4.70 for Brentford for this game?
Yeah, I think there's some merit to that thinking. I didn't really agree with your with your bold pick actually for our prediction show. Look, Brentford have been great, there's no denying, but the bedrock of their form is their home results. If we look at their last 10 away games, they've won 5 and lost 5. They don't draw. That doesn't sound too bad until you look at the opponents. None of those 5 wins actually came against a properly serious opponent. It was West Ham, Grimsby, Wolves, Everton, and Sheffield Wednesday. None of those really scream elite, you know? By contrast, every loss of those 5 on the road came against a decent side. So sure, Chelsea have a lot of question marks right now, but I can't really see them losing this one.
Interesting. Well, we'll see after the game week for sure. And over to you, Max. Fulham are also currently unbeaten in their last 5 league games. Do you think they'll be able to see off a stubborn lead side like famous for causing problems at home?
Well, let's say the both teams have pretty much the same form at the moment, more or less at least. But I just don't see really Leeds losing at home. They lost only 2 games in Prem this season. It was against Villa and Spurs. But they've been scoring relatively a lot in these games. And I just don't see Fulham scoring more than 1 goal. And I can't see Leeds scoring below 1 goal. So I'd say, for me, actually, Leeds are slight favorites. But the most realistic outcome is a draw, I guess.
Interesting. Anyways, back to you, Victor. Liverpool might have recorded 3 consecutive stalemates, in the Premier League, but surely a game against Burnley should ideally mean a return to winning ways, right?
It would better. I mean, if they don't beat Burnley, okay, first of all, the battle for top 4, top 5 is so tight that probably in 3 match days it's not going to matter if they don't beat Burnley. But it would look very, very bad for a team like Liverpool to not beat them. Like, okay, I'm not buying this whole, oh, Schlott is under pressure because Xabi Alonso is available. I'm not on board with that. That's nonsense. But this is still one of those games that you're simply expected to win as a big club, regardless of context. So
Yeah.
you don't win this one. Okay, you might still make top 4 or top 5, but do you really want to be put in the same conversation as Man United?
Fair point.
You already lost.
Back to you, Max. Both Sunderland and Crystal Palace have endured, a couple run of poor results, in the past weeks. And with just only 2 points between them on the table, who do you think is more likely to win this fixture?
Well, if you just look at the stats at home for Sunderland, they didn't lose a single game at home this season. They've played already 11 games, and there was Man City, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Brentford, Newcastle. You don't really expect Crystal Palace to stop this series because they lost 4 games in a row. They've been looking absolutely doomed. Everybody knows that this is the last season for Glasner, Gay, maybe Mateta, and you just don't see Sunderland skipping this game and losing it somehow. So I'd say Sunderland is obviously favorite, but it can end up with draw again because Sunderland have been playing a lot of draws this season, so you never know. But they're obviously favorites here.
Fair point. And just on the final note for this video, Victor, a London derby awaits as Tottenham host West Ham for a crunch clash. I mean, on paper, Spurs are favourites for this game, but do you think there's a chance of a West Ham upset?
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't think Spurs are winning this. They have been so poor at home this season. Even a side as bad as West Ham can really give them a game. I've backed a double chance draw or West Ham win in the prediction show. It just seems to me like it's the perfect storm for the inventors of Spursiness to show us why they can't be taken seriously.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you did say that in our prediction video, but we'll wait and see. I don't know who are the favorites for that game because both sides are just so poor at the moment. But anyways, we will wait and see how that game ends and also how the games for round 22 will fare. We've still got more games to talk about, though, and in another video, we'll be talking about the remainder of games for round 22.